Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, find a way to lose. Also in boxing, if you end up finding a way to lose, and for a lot of boxing fans, if their favorite fighter finds a way to lose, well, they have to try to process in their mind how the loss occurred, and when they can't make sense of it, they just start reaching. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Terence Crawford has been getting, I think he's been getting raked across the coals. And I'm going to say right now that it's not fair what's going on with a lot of people and the way they're attacking Terence Crawford, all because he did a job. And the job he performed was getting in the ring and defeating Earl Spence. And I think it's reached a point with Terence Crawford where it's going to be either show proof that he was on some kind of performance enhancement drugs, show proof that he was hitting Earl Spence intentionally with illegal shots and blows, and show proof that he's a dirty fighter, or he was a dirty fighter when he faced Spence. Or I think some people could be facing a lawsuit. Now, I came across this post, right? Because I already did one about people saying Terence Crawford elbowed Earl Spence in the face, and it's the elbows that made Earl Spence's face swell up. In that video, I talked about Jermell Charlo suggesting that Terence Crawford was hitting Earl Spence behind the head. Now, I'm going to tell you, there were some shots that did land behind the head, but it doesn't look like Terence Crawford was targeting the back of Earl Spence's head. Okay? But there's a couple of posts that I came across that made me stop and do a little research, right? Now, I will say, the consensus is we've never seen Earl Spence unravel in the ring. Never seen him hurt like that. What we saw, it was hard for everyone to process. I get it. But you have some people like this guy who's saying, never seen anyone that strong with an effortless arm punch drop a man that never was dropped. Bud looked incredibly powerful, like he was not even trying. Speed and reaction unbelievable. He was not even trying. I don't agree with that. All right? Then there's another person. Anyone who works with a known drug cheat or the maker of undetectable drugs more than likely is cheating himself, suggesting that Terence Crawford may have been taking some kind of drugs that couldn't be detected and came in the ring with an unfair advantage. And then this guy, I've been saying this. Nobody goes to the snack gym just to work out, especially with the guy who is known to provide athletes with extra help. Conti is a guru at cheating undetected. Now, I'll tell you this. There was a time where Conti was making some horrible choices. He went to jail for it. Okay? But this man is making serious money with his snack products. Okay? There's always the potential for someone to be involved in foul play, but there's no proof. Now, I always make jokes about the cocktail, the Heredia cocktail, the Conti cocktail, the Ariza cocktail, the Usman Sajjad cocktail, right? And I make those jokes because all of those individuals have had their names linked to some kind of foul play when it came to Peds. All right? But the thing about Terence Crawford, all right, is he working with, or was he working with Conte? He's been involved with Snack for quite some time. Okay? Now, for a lot of people saying, look, for Crawford to develop a winning formula, he needed to go out there and, indulge with this guy Victor Conte to give him the best chance of beating Spence. Now I'm gonna tell you, Conte has an approach that helps these guys with their stamina. You can go out there and read about Victor Conte, read about Snack, read about what his the type of training and things he studied and what he was able to develop to really help these fighters with their recovery. Okay, but if you ask me about Terence Crawford and foul play, I'm gonna tell you that I just don't see it. What I do think is with Victor Conte and his snack system, look, they're always picking up different athletes. It's not just boxers, but in case you didn't know, since everybody wants to attack Terence Crawford, well, I guess that would mean you got to include Shakur Stevenson. We're already talking about Terence Crawford, Jared Anderson, Jerome Boots Ennis, and of course Devin Haney. Okay, these are guys who invested very early on with Conte and Snack. See, a lot of people don't talk about it because most people are just looking at boxing just right there on the surface. They're not really peeling the layers back and understanding how Heredia has been involved with so many boxers. You don't know about it unless there's something bad happening. But I tell you what, if y'all want to start getting concerned about guys like the names I just mentioned, them being involved with Snack, well, y'all better get concerned about who's involved with Heredia. Y'all better get involved about who's still involved with Ariza. And you sure as hell better have an understanding of what the hell's going on in the UK with this guy Usman Sajjad. Okay? So I'm telling you right now, it's unfortunate. But I just think for me, it's like when you put together that Crawford, extremely strong physically, we call that shit cock strong. When it comes to lifting weights, he's strong. He comes from an aggressive background from being a wrestler and just an all-around athlete. So him adding sports science to his team, of course, is going to improve his performance, man. All right? But I don't see why the news is interesting to anyone. But I will say this, a lot of boxers don't invest in their career, you know. They normally just kind of just struggle through the business of boxing and choose not to really spend much money outside of just materialistic things, but really investing in themselves to make themselves better, to give themselves the best chance as far as training and in the actual fight. There aren't many fighters that do it. But I tell you what, it's happening more and more now. And yes, Crawford did make some changes, but look, Earl Spence hired a strength and conditioning coach. Made sure he had a dietitian. All these things to up the stakes for his fight against Crawford. So hey, if we're going to look at what Crawford did with, sports science, that worked for him. Maybe some of the things Earl Spence did in this camp, changes he made, maybe it did not work for him. Okay? So the bottom line is this, man. Crawford can fight. The man has strong hands, okay? But when you take that and you couple it with a guy like Victor Conte who knows sports nutrition, look, you're going to get a winning recipe. And I just think it's good to just have people in your circle that are all about learning about things and trying to help you in whatever way they can to benefit your career. And I'm just not seeing this stuff about Crawford and drugs and cheating. Like, that just needs to stop. Like, I don't even have the effort to get on here and raise hell anymore. Like, they just need to stop. And I think at this point in time, Crawford getting this win against Spence is probably going to be the biggest headache of his career, because people just don't want to accept the fact that he was able to go in there and do to Earl Spence what he did. Okay? But I do think when it comes to Terence Crawford, it's like, hey, either show proof that he's a dirty fighter, was intentionally hitting him with elbows and behind the head, and also that he may have been taking some kind of performance enhancement drugs underneath Victor Conte that would give him an advantage. And I'll tell you this, if you can't prove those things, then you need to shut up. Like I said, either show proof or face lawsuit. Because at this point in time, people, they're not holding their horses, and they're taking it beyond the stupid. Yo, I don't have anything else to say, man. Except y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. We'll see what they come up with next when it comes to old Crawford. And the reason why he beat Spence, because people just don't want to give this man the credit he deserves. And I will say this, if something was to come out, it's going to come out sooner than later. Because people get time, and it's time, and when people talk, and people research, and things bubble up, and the rumors start percolating. If there was something going on, it will come out. I'm telling you it will come out. But if you ask me, I don't think anything's going to come out. But we'll see how this next fight goes, because I can't wait to see the rematch. And just to be honest with you, I think it's the same outcome. But we never know, right? The best fighter doesn't always win. It's the boxer who fights the best on that night. But I'm just not confident in being able to pull it off. That being said, y'all keep cool, show proof, or face lawsuit in the breeze.